Welcome back to Decked Out.
On today's spooktacular episode, we are joined by ZBexx and Cherries for a very special Halloween episode where every player has brought their favorite spooky commander and cosplay to match.
As always, thank you to our sponsors, Coolstuffinc, EDHRec, and Ultimate Guard, but more on them later in the video.
That's enough from us. Let's meet the players and their awesome commanders.
Hey everyone, I'm Skeleton Cherries. I'm just like regular Cherries, but a little bonier. And today I'm playing Tiny Boned. This is a discard themed deck and one of the meanest decks I have ever built. So the best cards in this deck are things like Bottomless Pit that make my opponents discard every single turn, meaning I will draw every single turn. And I'm looking forward to this. I really want to cast Pox because that is the ultimate over-the-top discard spell that gets rid of everything on the board.
Hi, I'm ZBexx. I'm a professional cosplayer and Magic the Gathering personality, and today I am playing Alayla, Artful Provocateur. I'm hoping to do some fun Fae tricks, like playing Stolen by the Fae, or making tons of fairies with the Ancient Gold Dragon.
I'm Veggiewagonyee, and I'm in good spirits because I'm playing Millicent, Restless Revenant. This immaterial girl costs less for every spirit that's in play, so I'm just gonna make a bunch of tiny ones and then leverage the fact that I've got a wide board with cards like Bident of Thassa and Catilda. My opponents don't have a ghost of a chance. Oh, and this green turtleneck, I'll fix it in post.
Why, hello there. I'm Tasha, the Witch Queen, and I've come to this Halloween party to cast my opponent's spells. They think they're living in a fairy tale, but realistically, it's gonna turn into their nightmare. Before we get into the episode, we'd like to take a minute to thank our patrons. Without your support, really fun episodes like this would not be possible. So if you guys would like to become a part of the show, please head on over to our Patreon where you can unlock exclusive perks like signed tokens, spell table games with us, and even submit deck lists for us to play here on the show.
And you know it already, you can support us by liking the video and subscribing to the channel. But that's all for now. It's time to get into the game.
Welcome to the table. Let's see who goes first.
I got an 18.
No!
19.
17.
A 17, an 18, and a 19. Those are some high rolls. All right, let's go. I'll draw a card. I am going to play a tapped Malachor Mire as my land for turn and pass.
All right. I'm going to start with a polluted Delta, and I will go ahead and just crack it. I'm going to go ahead and play Watery Grave. I will not shock it in, and I'll pass the turn.
Okay, I will draw Hollowed Fountain, tapped, and pass.
Draw. Plains. Pass.
All right, untap, draw. We're going to go with a Swamp. And I think after that, I'm just going to pass the turn.
Oh, wow.
Such a friendly game.
Sussy Baka.
Let's go ahead and start with a pathway. We'll have it on the black side. And I'll just play a Cold Steel Heart tapped. When it enters the battlefield, I choose a color and it can create 1 mana of that color. I'll go ahead and choose blue and I'll pass.
I will untap my Full Moon, as it is Halloween, and draw. I will play a Port Town, revealing an island in my hand, so it enters untapped. I will tap 2 and cast Silvergill Dowser. It's a Merfolk wizard. I can tap it to give target creature -X/-0 until end of turn, where X is the number of Merfolk and or fairies I control. It's a 1/1. Pass.
I'm going to play an island. I'm going to tap 2 for an Azorius Signet, and that's it. Pass the turn.
All right, time to play everyone's favorite card. End of turn, Orcish Bowmaster, which is going to enter and shoot the fairy to kill it and amass 1.
Wow.
It is 1 and a black for an Orc Archer, 1/1 with Flash. And whenever an opponent draws a card except the first one they drew in each of their turns, Orcish Bowmaster deals 1 damage to any target, then amass 1 Orc.
The line in the sand has been drawn. The Fae will remember this.
I would have killed anything anyone played. You just happened to be the only one who played something.
It's funny now. It's not going to be funny later.
No, I'm not. My deck. That is the nicest thing my deck's gonna do. This is a mean deck. Play Swamp. All right, I'm going to cast one of the best cards in the entire deck, Waste Not. 1 in the black for an enchantment. Whenever an opponent discards a creature, put a 2/2 zombie token onto the battlefield. Whenever an opponent discards a land, make black. And whenever an opponent discards a non-creature, non-land, draw a card. This is one of the only cards in history designed by the Magic community, and it is quite a strong Magic card. I'm going to head to combat, and I'll send one. You know what? I don't want to make ZBexx hit me too much. I'll send one in there. 2 Veggie. 2 Veggie.
There we go.
That's the right
It's
call.
like we knew what was happening.
It's always 2 Veggie. So I will attack Veggie for 2 and then pass the turn to Nerd Girl.
Let's go ahead and start with a blue, and I'll go ahead and play a Soul Ring. Better late than never.
That's always my reaction to Soul Ring.
2 black, and I'll float a colorless, and we're going to play Gix Yawgmoth Praetor. It's a 3/3 whenever a creature deals combat damage to one of your opponents. Its controller may pay 1 life. If they do, draw a card. I can also pay 7, discard X cards, exile the top X cards of target opponent's library. I may play lands and cast spells without paying their mana cost. I'll do blue and the floating colorless to cast Rona, Herald of Invasion. Whenever you cast a legendary spell, I can untap Rona. I can also tap to loot, and I can also pay 6 to transform Rona and activate only as a sorcery.
Yikes, that's a lot of card draw that we're going to be running into this Bowmasters.
And then I'll go ahead and pass the turn.
I will untap and draw. I will play a command tower and pay 2 white for Flowering of the White Tree. It's a legendary enchantment. Legendary creatures I control get +2/+1 and have ward 1, and non-legendary creatures I control get +1/+1. So my little fairies can now survive an Orcish Bowmaster hit
Yeah, I wasn't going to kill him anyway.
when I get them. Pass turn.
I'm going to play a Moorland Hunt. This land taps your colorless, but I can also pay a white and a blue and tap and exile a creature from my graveyard to make a 1/1 spirit with flying. See, here's the problem. You're going to empty all of our hands, which is not great, but I'm okay with because I just want to draw them back. But if that exists...
Yeah, that's why I put in the deck. Don't tell everyone my card design, why I picked these.
So I will pass to the nice guy Orcish Bowmasters.
Now who's sus? All right, I'm going to play a swamp. Tap this swamp, and we're going to play an Anvil of Bogarden, and I'm guessing not even in with the table or at home. Those are the stuff. So let me give it a read. Each player skips his or her discard phase. During each player's draw phase, that player draws an additional card and then chooses and discards a card. So this is gonna be good. This is gonna get my discard train going and drawing extra cards for my Orcish Bowmaster. Pretty exciting. So let's tap 2 and now play Tiny Bones, which is the only way to pronounce it. Tiny Bones is 1 in the black for a legendary creature, Skeleton Rogue, 1/2. At the beginning of each end step, if an opponent discarded a card this turn, you draw a card and lose 1 life. Pay 4 black. Each opponent with no cards in hand loses 10 life.
I don't want to play stuff on your stuff already, but all of the stuff is good stuff.
We can be friends, Veggie.
The Fae tempts you to be naughty.
Oh, what show is this?
I have heard the ring tempts you too much. I don't know where that came from. Plus, Fae just are up to no good.
You have to put an age warning on this episode.
I think I will at least... I'll pay 3 and cast Generous Gift targeting Waste Not. It's such a good card, and I even want to see it in action, but it's going to be so good for you with discarding all.
I am realizing right now, as you cast that Generous Gift to destroy my Waste Not, how good my board is, because that doesn't bug me.
Right.
And that is saying something. So I will just let this Waste Not
destroy that, but you do get an elephant.
I do get an elephant, which is actually what I wanted the whole time. Yeah, we're going to get my famous elephant, Steve, who will hang out with my team. And I will pass Nerd Girl. And remember, when you draw, you will draw an additional card and then discard.
I'm going to go ahead and discard Rod of Absorption.
All right, and I have a couple of triggers before you go forward. You have drawn additional cards, so Orcish Bowmaster will amass one here, and I will send the one to the highest life total right now, which is ZBexx. And then I also... Nope, there's no other triggers. Nope, that's it for now. Later, I'll have something.
Tiny Bones will do something, right?
Tiny Bones draws in my end step, yes.
I'm going to go play an island for my turn. Well, let's try to get some more information so I can help out. Veggie, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to hit you for 3.
Okay.
My goal is to try to draw answers to help over here.
before it hits me and you get to draw cards off of it, I'm going to pay 1 and I'm going to Path Orcish Bowmasters.
Yeah, buddy.
Appreciate that.
Sorry, Joe.
That is a good play. No, that's a good play. Yeah, that resolves. I am going to go ahead and exile this.
I'm now out of the 2 pieces of interaction that I put in a deck.
Great. I will try to find some of my 15 pieces that I don't have. So I'll lose a life, you'll lose 3, and I will choose to draw. Well, this does help. So it's not a direct answer, but I'll go ahead and pay 5, and we're going to cast the best Halloween character, and that's me, Tasha the Witch Queen. My static ability is whenever I cast a spell I don't own, I can create a 3/3 black demon token. I can +1 to draw a card, and for each opponent, I can exile up to 1 target instant or sorcery card from that player's graveyard and put a page counter on it. I can -3, and I may play a spell from among the ones that have page counters on them without paying its mana cost. I'm actually going to plus, which will allow me to draw a card, and for each of you, I can exile an instant or sorcery, so I'll go ahead and exile the Path. And I'll go ahead and pass the turn.
All right, end step. I will draw a card and lose 1 life.
All right. Well, the fairies will untap, upkeep, and draw.
You will draw an additional card.
Oh, that's right. I will draw an additional card, and then I get to discard.
That's my favorite part.
Which card?
Deck card, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah. Top tier comedy here at Decked Out.
Fresh new jokes.
Well, these are all quite good. I don't want to discard any of them, but I will discard Fairy Formation because that seems the least useful out of all the cards I have in my hand at the moment. I will play a land for the turn, and let's tap 4 and also get our commander out there. I'm feeling like it's time. I will play Alayla, Artful Provocateur, a legendary creature with flying, death touch, and lifelink. Other creatures I control with flying get +1/+0. And whenever I cast an artifact or an enchantment spell, I create a 1/1 blue fairy creature. And of course, Alayla is usually a 2/3, but because of my enchantment, she's currently a 4/4 with Ward 1, so don't touch my stuff. That's not how the fairies roll. If you come into my realm and mess with me, you're asking for it. Pass turn.
Sassy fairies today.
End step. I will draw a card and lose a life because ZBexx did discard.
We'll draw my 2, and I'll discard this Plains. I'll play a Deserted Beach for turn, and then I will just tap 3 for a Decanter of Endless Water. I have no maximum hand size, and it can tap for mana. That's it. I'll pass.
All right. On your end step, I will lose another life and draw another card. Don't look at that. And then we will just go ahead and untap for my turn. Draw off of the anvil and the regular draw. And then I also have to discard because even though, this is just for my opponents, I will still have to discard. And I will discard from my hand Nezumi Shortfang. So that's a weird card. And I'm going to get out a Sangromancer, which is a 4-mana 3/3 with flying. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, you may gain 3 life. Whenever an opponent discards a card, you may gain 3 life. And then I think I have to just do this now. I'm going to go ahead and tap to play a Dark Ritual to add 3 mana to my mana pool. And then cast a very important but very mean. I'm sorry, ZBexx.
Are you coming after Alayla?
I accidentally, because I really need.
She has Ward 1.
I know. It's accidental because I'm going to cast Soul Shatter, which is 3 mana instant. Each player sacrifices a creature or planeswalker with the highest converted mana cost among creatures and planeswalkers they control.
Yikes, y'all owe me. I'm gonna pay 3, and I'm gonna cast Spell Queller.
Yes.
Spirits to the rescue.
Thank you, Spell.
Pioneer All-Star, except just for me. So when this enters the battlefield, I exile target spell with converted mana cost 4 or less, and when it leaves the battlefield, the owner may cast it without paying its mana cost. So it might be a problem later, but it is not a problem now.
Great.
Yes, so it's going to get exiled, and it's going to be a problem now because I'm going to also cast Snuff Out, paying 4 life. Snuff Out destroys target non-black creature, and it can't be regenerated, but I can pay an alternate cost because if I control a swamp, I can just pay 4 life rather than its mana value.
All right, well, I can't stop that, so there goes my Spell Queller.
And then we will recast the Soul Shatter. It will cause Alayla to die and Tasha.
Actually, I'm sacrificing her. It's different.
Oh, I have 2 triggers. 3 life when this died, and 3 life when Alayla died. So I will gain 6 life. I'll go to combat, 1 at Veggie, 2 at ZBexx.
None at Nerd Girl.
No, because I don't draw cards when I hit Nerd Girl. I draw cards when I hit other players. Now, when I first saw Gix in the Tasha deck, I was a little confused. But now looking at it, it really directs you to attack players, meaning you won't be attacking Tasha. That's real strong. Oh, you better mark that Tiny Bones damage. 21 more hits and you're done. All right, so I will have triggers from Gix over there, and I will lose 2 life to draw 2 cards. And then I will pass my turn after that.
I'll draw 2 cards. I'm going to start by discarding the Siphon Insight.
I will gain 3 life off you discarding a card.
All right, let's go ahead and play a Hedron Crab to start us off. When a land enters the battlefield under my control, target player will mill 3 cards. So I will indeed play a Swamp. And let's go ahead and mill the mono black player and see if I can find some removal.
What if I have synergy in my deck?
Well, I'm glad that Cryptghast got by.
Smallpox. Smallpox got milled. I love smallpox. And something you would never say out of the context of Magic.
8-Rec players get it.
It's such a cool card.
I feel like I don't want you drawing cards off of my Gix, and they're not going to be able to stop you. So I'm going to put Gix into Joe.
Wow, that is a good, I think that is a good attack, because it is a good plan to not let me draw more cards. So that is why I left the elephant back originally. But do I want to block, or is the Gix more beneficial to me? I actually think I want to block. I do want to trade off the elephant for the Gix.
Okay. I will be
A
happy
gift
with that.
for a Gix.
And because one of your creatures died, I will also gain 3 life.
Next up, we are going to go ahead and pay 3 and 6 for Xanathar Guild Kingpin. He's a 5/6 that says at the beginning of my upkeep, I choose target opponent. Until end of turn, that player cannot cast spells. I also can look at the top card of their library at any time, and I may cast spells from the top of their library and spend mana as though they were any color to cast. And then I'll go ahead and pass the turn.
On your end step, I will lose a life and draw a card.
I will untap. I will draw for turn. I will draw for Anvil. I'm going to get rid of Mentor of the Meek.
And with that, I will gain 3 life. 1, 2, 3.
I'm going to play my own flyer, Empyrean Eagle. It's a bird spirit. It has flying. It's a 2/3, and other creatures I control with flying get +1/+1. And of course, it's getting +1/+1 right now. So it's a great blocker for your Sangromancer if you choose to come at me.
I like that the spirits and fairies are working together.
I was actually thinking, this game, Veggie has cast as many spirits as ZBexx, and this is the spirit deck.
Hey, yes.
And on your end step, I lose and draw a card.
I drew my 2, and I'm going to discard Azorius Chancery.
And I will gain a 2, 3 off of my Sangromancer.
I'll play Prairie Stream for turn, which comes in untapped because I have 2 basics. I will play 2, 3, 4 Field of Souls. Whenever a non-token creature is put into my graveyard from the battlefield, I make a 1/1 white spirit token with flying for all of my non-token creatures. That's what I got. I'll pass the turn.
All right, on your end step, I will again lose a life and draw a card. I will draw 2 cards, and I have to discard 1. I'm going to make my discard this Swamp. We're going to play Liliana's Caress, which is 2 mana. Whenever an opponent discards a card, that player loses 2 life. It's the beginning of the end for you all. I'm then going to play a land for turn, which will be this Urborg, Tomb to Yawgmoth. Everybody has swamps.
That's actually helpful.
I forgot. I made the deck, built it, and forgot it existed since putting it in the deck.
Okay.
It is Notic Scales.
I've read that card before, but I feel like it's a quarter bin card.
Oh, it's a quarter bin card because only this kind of deck wants to play it. This is during each player's upkeep, return to owner's hands creatures that players control with power greater than the number of cards in his or her hand, or their hand now as it would be worded.
This is why people stopped playing Magic during Urza's Saga.
Yeah, Tiny Bones.
This is why no one will play with me after this episode. I am going to pass. And on your upkeep, we have a trigger to bounce your guy, but you also still get the ability and will still be able to cast cards the whole turn.
So I will have Xanathar trigger you.
Yep.
It will get bounced back to my hand. I'll draw 2, and we'll discard a Sunken Hollow.
I will gain 3 life. Bop, bop, bop.
I'm going to start with a Morphic Pool, come into play untapped. Joe, you'll also mill 3 for the crab.
1, 2, 3.
So off the top of Joe's library, we're going to play Blood Chief's Ascension. At the beginning of each end step, if an opponent has lost 2 or more life, I can put a counter on it. And whenever a card is put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, if Blood Chief's Ascension has 3 or more quest counters on it, I might have that player lose 2 life and I will gain 2 life. With Blood Chief's Ascension on board, I have turned this game around entirely. All I need now is to control the top of my opponent's library, and they won't have a chance. And then we're going to go ahead and play Thief of Sanity. Thief of Sanity is a 2/2 flyer. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, I can look at the top 3 cards of that player's library, exile 1 of them face down, and put the rest in their graveyard. For as long as the card remains exiled, I may look at it and play cards and cast them with mana as though they were any other color. And then we're going to tap 3 for my final spell, which will catch us back up to Joe a little bit. We're going to cast Windfall. Each player discards their hand and draws a card equal to the greatest number of discarded cards, which should be Joe's hand.
I have a response.
Ooh.
I just want to use...
Counter it.
No, I want to use some... It's not going to be bad for y'all. I just want to use my own
Path to Exile.
Path to Exile before it gets
That's
discarded.
a great idea, because getting rid of this will prevent me from gaining what is up to like 30 life. So
I'm going to go for the Sangromancer because I don't know if I can catch up with that much life with these small little fairies that I'm going to be trying to get through. So that's going to be my choice. You can go search for a basic land card, put it in tapped, and shuffle.
I will do that.
And while you do that, I'm also going to respond just by casting the last card of my hand, Guardian of Faith.
Cool.
It's a 3/2 with Vigilance, and it could have phased some of my other creatures out, but I don't have any. There we go.
Okay.
And here is my swamp that I'm getting off the Path to Exile.
Do you still get to look at the top card of their library?
Ooh, that's a bad card for us. So everybody discards their cards. How many cards?
I am discarding 6. So 6 is going to be the maximum that somebody has.
I'm discarding 2. Don't I
You lose 4.
I'm discarding 4 cards, so I'm going to lose 8.
Yes, you will lose 8 life.
Which they were some very pretty cards, but that's okay.
And then everybody's
Wasn't
going to draw
casting
a
them.
fresh new 6. This Windfall is a huge turning point in this game. I was getting everyone down on cards a lot, and now everyone's just refueled. This is going to make my game plan much harder to execute.
So I'll cast a file off the top of Joe's library and target creature gets -1/-1 for each swamp I control, which is for sure at least 2, but also I have a bunch extra from Joe's land. So Tiny Bones bites the dust.
Hosted by my own Defile.
So at the end of my turn, I'll go ahead and put a quest counter on the Blood Chief's Ascension because everybody lost life from the wheel. I will pass the turn. Hopefully that helped you guys.
I will draw for turn and draw off Anvil. Discard Path of Ancestry because I don't like tap lands and forgetting stuff. So just get rid of it. Oh, and I lose 2 life. Thanks, Joe.
You're welcome.
I will tap for an Azorius Signet. I've got a little bit more mana now. Okay. For my first trick, cast Fairy Mastermind. Fairy Mastermind is a 2/1 fairy rogue, and it has flash, but why use it when the anvil's on the battlefield? Flying, whenever an opponent draws their second card each turn, I draw a card, and I can pay 4 mana to make each player draw a card if I so choose. I do have a flyer that I would like to, get in with Joe, so they can have 3 in the air coming at them.
Bully. 1, 2, 3.
I will accept being called a bully from the biggest bully at the table. I'm glad someone else
I'm a nice
feels.
person. No one's listening.
No, you said Orcish Bowmasters was nice, and you said Tiny Bones was nice.
And now it's me.
It can't keep moving like that.
Disagree.
Veggie, it's your turn to decide whether or not that's true.
Okay.
Passing.
And then I'll get another counter on the Blood Chief's Ascension.
I will draw 2.
When you draw your second card, I will draw a card.
I'll get rid of this island. I'm going to take 2 from the Caress. 2/3. I'm going to play a Twilight Drover. 1/1. When a creature token leaves the battlefield, I put a +1/+1 counter on it, and then I can pay 3 and remove a counter from it to create 2 1/1 white spirit creatures with flying. I'll play Glacial Fortress for turn, and then I'll pay 2 and cast Haunted Library. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, I can pay 1, and if I do, I also make a 1/1 flying spirit. And I got a Vigilant Attacker, so we're gonna send 3 over to Joe.
When did I become the bad guy?
It's friendly damage.
Oh, that's fair. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, teamwork damage. I'll pass.
I'll put a Ascension counter on Blood Chief's Ascension.
By attacking me, you are powering this Ascension that hurts you both.
Hey, I would have taken. I took 2 anyway from the.
Well, now you're gonna take 2 more because now that thing is powered up and ready to go. So let's untap. Draw the first card. Then I will draw the second card, and I will discard Gibbering Descent, which has the ability Madness. So I will pay the 4 mana to cast it. And it is 6 mana usually, but 4 if you Madness it. And at the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player loses 1 life and discards a card. And if I'm hellbound, I skip my upkeep step.
I will draw my card for you, drawing your second card.
I will play my land for turn. Tap 1, play out a Wayfarer's Bubble, and then I will play out a Dothy Voidwalker. Black for a 3/2 with Shadow. If a card will be put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead with a Void counter. Tap, sacrifice Dothy Voidwalker, choose an exiled card an opponent owns with a Void counter on it. You may play it this turn without paying its mana cost.
I'm going to respond and I'm going to loot with Rona. I'm going to discard the swamp. I'll take 2.
Just to show how friendly I am. I'll crack this bubble right now because I'm so friendly and not holding up anything and very friendly.
I will say that when a card enters your graveyard from anywhere, then you will take 2 and I will gain 2.
I will take 2.
And I do want you both to know that this is a May.
Ah.
All right, here's my swamp, and then it will be the Nerd Girl's turn. First things first, on your upkeep, you will discard and lose 1.
I'll discard this Underground River, boop, boop, and then I'll draw 2 and discard 1 of them.
Yes.
I'll draw my card.
The Underground River will be in exile with a Void counter on it.
This is the game Joe wants to play. I'm happy to play the mill game.
You do have to discard 1 more card.
I'm going to discard the Dark Slick Shores, and it'll go at the top with a Void counter on it. I'm going to play an island, and Joe is going to mill 3 cards and take 6 damage.
Oh, that's bad. 1, 2, 3, and yes, take 6. Oof.
And then we're going to play King Narfi's Betrayal. This is a saga that says, Chapter 1, each player mills 4 cards. You may exile a creature or planeswalker from each graveyard. And then on Chapter 2 and 3, until the end of turn, I may cast the spells that were exiled with this card. I may spend mana as though they were any color.
So are they all going to go into Dothy Voidwalker?
No, because on the stack here.
Okay, responding.
Yeah.
On the stack, we're going to go ahead and just power word kill it. So we will destroy a non-angel, non-demon, devil, or dragon. And you'll lose another 2 life. And then we'll let the King Narfi Betrayal activate. Everybody mills 4. So I'll take Nezumi Informant, Haunted Executioner, and the Ancient Gold Dragon.
So remember that ancient gold dragon I was sad to get rid of? Well, it turns out Nerd Girl's taken it from my graveyard with King Narfi's Betrayal. I really hope I don't see that against me.
I'll also actually mill 4 cards for myself, and I will choose to get Xanathar, Guild Kingpin back under the King of Narfi's Betrayal. I want to play the same game as everybody. I want to make fairies. I want to mill people. It's going to be a great time. And then we've got this nasty trigger to resolve of who I want to take an additional 8 damage. Definitely Joe.
That's fair. You will also gain 8 life.
I sure will. And then let's say 3 and 1. Let's even the tables a little bit. You'll take 6 and you'll take 2. Everybody's in a nice...
Everybody.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
It's literally everybody. No, I can't think of anyone who has more life.
No, I do get 1 trigger. A creature an opponent controlled died, so I'm going to make a 1/1 spirit.
Joe, I would like to come over for 2 damage in the air.
Absolutely. I have no blocks, so I will take the 2, and then here's your trigger.
I will exile 1 of these cards.
All right, so these 2 will go into my graveyard, and I will lose 4 more life.
We have to face 2 Tiny Bones players now.
Pass.
Okay. Untap.
So you have Gibbering Descent first, where you would discard on your upkeep.
I will discard this here swamp. And then I will...
And 2 more.
And 2 more, yes.
Oh, yep. Thank you. Thank you so much. I will draw off this. Oh, there it is. I'm going to discard the Exotic Orchard.
2 more for Liliana's Caress.
This has to stop. I'm putting an end to it all right now. Little did you know there was foreshadowing. You've been causing a lot of problems, but there's also a witch who has 60 life right now, which, as I was saying earlier, I can't deal with the Sangromancer and you gaining a bunch of life. So just to even things out a little bit, I'm going to send 3 at Joe and 3 at NerdGirl.
Me?
I will
4
take it.
Nerd Girl.
Oh, yeah.
2 buffs to the mastermind.
Oh, yes, thanks.
Oh, man. I'm just taking. I mean, I don't have anything.
Because the flowers are about to wilt. I'm going to cast Austere Command.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to choose 2. I'm going to destroy all artifacts and destroy all enchantments. Because I don't like losing all of this life when I'm just sitting here not doing anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
I say the same thing when you got rid of my 1 fairy and my 1 commander. Sorry about it.
I spent my early game playing Ghost Police, and my enchantments were supposed to get me back into this thing, and now they're gone.
Well, you had your fun. Now it's time for the rest of us.
Yeah.
I mean, in fairness, you should be thanking them. I was going to kill you with your own spell.
Yeah, that's true. I was dying to this Blood Chief Ascension.
Okay, and then I've had all my fun for today. I'll pass my turn.
Okay.
And poetic, yes, to kill me with my own card.
As most witches are.
I'm going to play this Exotic Orchard, and I will finally cast my commander, Millicent Restless Revenant. It costs 1 less to cast for each spirit I control, so only a total of 4. It has flying, and whenever it or another non-token spirit I control dies or deals combat damage to a player, I make another 1/1 flying spirit. So we're about to get a bunch of spirits. I'll go to combat. I'm going to send this Twilight Drover to ZBexx, this Guardian of Faith to NerdGirl, and this flying 1/1 to Joe.
I have no blocks.
Same.
No blocks.
All right.
Okay, I had 2 non-token spirits hit people, so I'm gonna make 2 more spirits, and that is my turn.
I will untap. And for the first time as I'm tapping, I am not the threat. Not even close. Let's draw and hope it's something good. Oh, that's pretty good.
Sheesh.
I'm going to go to combat. And I will send 2 at NerdGirl.
I will block with my 1/3.
That's fair. You know, that makes a lot of sense. I am then going to pay 4 and cast Damnation to destroy all creatures. They can't be regenerated.
So we get a whole fresh board, artifacts and enchantments and creatures.
And we're
Jeez.
starting with, let's start.
I'm gonna loot first. And I'll discard this Arcane Signet.
This does trigger Millicent because whenever a non-token spirit I control dies, I also get a 1/1 spirit, so I will still keep these 3 spirits.
Nice.
I'm then going to play a Citadel with no ways to gain life, so it's a little scary. So let's go to the top and see what we got. We'll start by playing my land for turn. Live by the Citadel, die by the Citadel. All right, 3 mana. I am going to pay 3 life. 1, 2, 3. Arterial Flow. Each opponent will discard 2 cards.
All right, I'm just gonna pitch 2 lands.
I'm going to pitch Cloudstone Curio. I guess just Fairy Squadron. It's cute.
Hostage Taker and Baleful Mastery.
All right, Arterial Flow is resolved. Let's look at that top card. What did I say? Live by the Citadel, die by the Citadel.
12 mana spell.
4 mana spell. 1, 2, 3, 4. I will make each player discard a card, and I will draw for each card discarded this way.
1.
I'll discard this Reality Shift.
I'll discard Latchkey Fairy.
I will draw 3, 2, 3. Live by the Citadel, die by the Citadel. I will pay 7 life for a Breach the Multiverse.
Yes.
Going to 1 life. Let's do this.
I support this play.
All right, so let's everybody mill 10 cards. All right, with this Breach the Multiverse from my graveyard, I get a Crypt Ghast. From NerdGirl's graveyard, I get a Brain Stealer Dragon. From ZBexx graveyard, I get a Fairy Formation. And from Veggie's graveyard, the card that will hopefully save me, Kami of the False Hope. So this is fully resolved, going to the graveyard.
Yes, one fog. You have one
And
fog.
because I can look at my cap card at any time, I will.
You want to cast that?
I cannot because it does not cost exactly 1 mana, meaning I don't have the life to pay for it. So I'll just have to pass instead. All right, so at the end, we're going to exile the top card of each thing's library. Each thing. Yep, my opponents are things, and I can play them.
That does fit the Halloween theme.
Go ahead, nerd girl. Don't kill me.
Well, I just had a really good top deck, so I will go ahead and cast my own Bolas Citadel for 6 mana. It looks like skeletons are not the only ones that can make a deal with Nicol Bolas.
When I cast mine, I had 16 life. 53? A little more.
A little, just a smidge more.
Lands.
I'm going to put a land on top into play for my land for turn. Pass the turn.
All right, I will untap, upkeep, and draw. I have missed a few land drops, so just remember when I play this that I am not the enemy. Smothering Tithe. It's an enchantment. Whenever an opponent draws a card, that player may pay 2. If they do not, I create a treasure token. I just want mana so I can play my commander and other things. That's all I'm doing. Pass turn.
At the end of your turn, I'm going to activate Moorland Hunt. I'm going to exile a creature from my graveyard. We'll just get rid of this Unsettled Mariner and make another spirit.
All right, Veggie, before you go to your draw step, I would like to now sack my Kami of False Hope, preventing all combat damage that will be dealt this turn.
All right, you get a turn.
Just in case you had a split-second way to kill Kami of the False Hope.
I do like split second. All right.
Do you pay the 2?
I do not pay the 2.
Thank you, Veggie.
All right, I'll play a Sea of Clouds, my land for turn, while I still have enough opponents. And then we're just going to recast Millicent. I have 4 spirits. Right now it would cost 9, so it just costs 5. Well, my 4 damage is not going to really make a dent in Nerd Girl. I can't deal any. I can't deal any combat damage at all. I'll pass the turn.
It's time to show how good this Pepper Smoke really, really was, because I have Crypt Gas. So I'm going to make 2 mana and cast Pepper Smoke Extorted, so that I will drain everybody for 1 and gain 3 and kill one of your spirits. All right, so Pepper Smoke, we'll do the Extort. 1, 2, 3. And then Pepper Smoke will kill. Oh, do I get to choose? I'll kill this spirit.
Oh, how dare you?
We'll play my land for turn.
Do you pay the 2?
I will not pay the 2. You may have a treasure.
Your nicest move of the entire game.
No. Remember when I played all those really nice cards that I said were nice?
Yeah.
That was the nicest moment of the game.
For you.
All right, let's take a look at this top card.
Did you punish yourself? Please tell me you punished yourself.
Oh, no.
Yep. There's a land on top. Yes.
Nope. And that cutaway is not going to be recorded either, so. Oh, yeah, I punished myself. As soon as I'm like, I got to look. We'll make 6 mana and extort Shieldred. So let's do the extort first.
Yeah, we'll resolve the well, we're not going to resolve the extort. I'm going to pay 2 life
To
and counter Shieldred.
Yes. Okay, yeah, the extort still resolves, but
Yes.
this is gone. Shieldred is countered.
The classic counterspell off the top with Bolas Citadel, you know.
Oh, that's why you couldn't play it.
Let's make 6 mana again and cast Junji Extorted. Junji the Midnight Sky is 3 black for legendary creature, Dragon Spirit, 5/5, Flying Menace. When Junji Midnight Sky dies, choose 1. Each opponent discards 2 cards and loses 2 life, or put target non-dragon creature card from your graveyard onto the battlefield under your control, you lose 2 life. I'm then going to tap for 4 mana, and I'm going to cast Propaganda Extorted. Propaganda is 2 and a blue for an enchantment. Creatures can't attack you unless their controller pays 2 for each creature they control that's attacking you. And when Propaganda resolves, Nerd Girl will lose 3 life. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and do 3 for a Dark Deal Extorted. Each player discards all cards in his or her hand, then draws that many -1.
At least in response, I'm going to cast Swords to Plowshares.
Targeting.
I don't know. The Crypt Gas is the source of extort to gain you life and double your mana. It is probably that.
All right, I will respond and I will float 4 mana into my mana pool.
Mm-hmm.
I will discard Halo Forager.
And I will discard
I know, I
Turgid,
would've liked
Necrogen Mist, and Swamp and draw 2 cards. I'm going to head to combat and I am going to send 11 Nerd Girl's way. I need to lower the life total because that Citadel turn could be real bad. And I don't know if my deck can answer that, period. So, all right, we have a Brain Stealer trigger. So we're going to go ahead and get this, and whatever the top card of your library is. What could it be?
This is fairy.
Oh, a Nimrus. I never saw that coming. Go ahead.
I don't think I'm going to get to disassemble this skeleton with damage, so I'm going to have to come up with a more clever way to kill them. How many cards are in your library, Joe?
Ooh, that's a good question. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25.
Wow.
My deck is very low. My graveyard, as you might notice, is much taller.
It's like literally casting a shadow over your board.
So let's start by getting some information. Actually, no, let's just start by casting Tasha. I'm going to go ahead and tick Tasha down and cast the Path with mana of any color, and I will Path to exile Junji so you don't get the death trigger.
Yes, that is completely fair. Junji is exiled, which is also my only blocker, which is a problem. So I will go and get another swamp out of my deck.
Yes, more mill.
I could have chosen no.
Because I played a spell that I don't own, I get to make a cute 3/3 little demon.
Aww.
With a matching witch hat.
Yeah, I'll pay 1 to play a Wayfarer's Bauble off the top. I feel like I gotta keep digging.
I mean, that makes sense.
I'm gonna go 4 to cast Synthesis Pod. It allows me to play 1 in a Phyrexian blue to tap, and I can exile a spell I control. Target opponent reveals cards from the top of their library until they reveal a card with mana value equal to +1 the exiled spell's mana value. Exile that card, then the player shuffles. You may cast the exiled spell this way without casting its mana cost.
Oh, that's weird. Because you can Bolas Citadel a spell and then pod it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and pay 4. And I'm going to play 1 ring to rule them all. The ring tempts you, so I'm gonna go ahead and get a ring tempt on my little demon. The other chapters for the 1 ring to rule them all, Chapter 2, destroy all non-legendary creatures. And Chapter 3, each opponent loses life for each creature card in that player's graveyard. So the 1 ring to rule them all will come into play. It will tempt my 3/3 demon. It will become the ring bearer, and each of you will mill 3.
1, 2, 3.
And that will be the end of my turn.
Well, I'm just going to recast my commander for 6. Alayla, Artful Provocateur, is back. So I got some defenses, at least with the lowest life total at the table.
Defense.
I am the cheerleader of MTG, as it has so been declared, so that's fitting. That's all I'm going to do for my turn. Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Do you pay the 2?
No, please.
Thank you.
I might as well send them somewhere.
Not here, please.
Not to you. Not to you. I don't know. I guess we'll just take a little out of each of you. 1 to Joe, 2 to NerdGirl, and I'll pay 2 mana.
All right, accepted.
I'll play an island for turn, and I'll pass.
I will pay 6 life for Professor Onyx. 6 mana Planeswalker. It's got Magecraft, and whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life.
Bad.
Very bad.
It does enter with 5 loyalty. +1, you lose 1 life. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put 1 of them into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. -3, each opponent sacrifices a creature with the greatest power among creatures that player controls. And -8, each opponent may discard a card. If they don't, they lose 3 life. Repeat this process 6 times. And we're going to start, I think, with a good old Liliana Plus to look at the top 3 and put 1 into my hand.
Yes, mill yourself more to help Tasha's plan.
All right, we're going to put these 2 swamps into my graveyard and this card into my hand. And I lose life. Boop. I will then play my land for turn. Off the top, it is a swamp. I'm going to head to my combat step, and the Citadel is still over here, so I think I am going to send 11 towards NerdGirl.
I will take it. That's all I can do.
I will pay 3 mana. I'm going to cast a Liliana of the Veil.
Whoa, too many Lilianas out here.
Wait, are they the same person?
Yes, they are.
I don't see it.
All right, so each player has to discard a card. I'll discard a swamp.
I will discard Marsh Flitter.
I am going to pass the turn, and we have an end step trigger for Brain Stealer Dragon.
Get an island.
Steal my brain. Only lands in brain.
Oh, you get my Brazen Borrower.
We're going to go to chapter 2, and we're going to destroy all non-legendary creatures.
I have no legendary, so everything will be destroyed. This is yours. This is yours.
Oh, for the first time, I am not a victim of board destruction.
I need to find some stuff. So let's start by taking up Tasha. I'll draw a card and get...
Pay the 2?
No. And in fact, I didn't do it twice.
Okay.
So with Tasha's ability, I will get Breach, Path, and Austere Command with a page counter. So you have 15 cards, right?
I do. I have 15 cards remaining in my deck.
15 cards in the library, you say? My, isn't that convenient? So I'm going to go ahead and play this Mystic Sanctuary. I'm going to put a spell on top of my library targeting Fractured Sanity, which is a mill 14.
Yes, that's bad.
So that's on top of my library. And then I'm going to flash back out of my graveyard, Siphon Insight. I'm going to look at the top few cards of your library.
Top 3?
Top 2. I will put this under the Siphon Insight in exile, and that will go to your graveyard.
Boop.
So this is exiled face down. You guys can't see it. This is exiled as well. And then I will pay 3 life from the Bolas Citadel to cast Fractured Sanity, making you discard or mill 14 cards.
That is it target opponent or is it each?
Each opponent.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's not 14. Don't anger me before my turn. I have a Brazen Borrower.
Yeah, my Brazen Borrower that you stole from the Fae.
If anybody thinks I am a bigger person than not using it vindictively before my turn starts, you're so wrong. So wrong.
I'm going to pay 4, and we're going to do Intellect Devourer. When it enters the battlefield, each opponent exiles a card from their hand until Intellect Devourer leaves the battlefield. I may play lands and cast spells from among them. You may play lands and cast spells as long as you have Intellect Devourer and use mana of any color. So each of you will...
I'm Hellbent.
Okay.
I will play nice, and I will give you the better of the 2.
Oh, I have enough mana to cast this.
Yes, you do.
And I might need it to survive.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Don't touch the fairy girl.
The funny thing is it's technically revealed, but she hasn't showed it yet.
The reason I'm tanking is because I have enough to cast it, but I have to pay the life, which means I get hit by it anyway, but getting hit by it once is better than twice. So first, I will go ahead and swing, and we're going to go and swing 3 to Veggie.
Yeah, I can't block it because it's small.
That's the reason.
And then I will pay 4, and I'm going to cast Toxic Deluge.
I'm helping.
And I'm going to give all creatures -4/-4.
Fairy tears rolling on the graveyard.
It will kill my own creatures as well, but at least I might live to see another day.
That will trigger Millicent's ability. When it dies, it leaves behind
A 1/1
a
spirit.
spirit.
Pass the turn.
All right, let's draw something good. Oh, that is kind of cool. For 5, I will cast Feywild Caretaker. It's an orc wizard, but when it enters the battlefield, I take the initiative. What a great mechanic. At the beginning of my end step, if I have the initiative, I'll create a 1/1 blue fairy dragon creature token with flying. When I take the initiative, I'll also get to enter a dungeon, so I get the secret entrance. I'll search my library for a basic land, reveal it, and put it into my hand. I haven't played a land for this turn, so we might as well play this here island. I would also like to use all of the treasure I've been working so hard to acquire, as my commander costs 8 now, so I will use all but 1 of it to recast Alayla, Artful Provocateur. I will move to my end step and make a 1/1 blue fairy dragon token. It's even got gems. Fairy likes treasures. Yes. Okay, pass.
At the end of your turn, I am going to activate Moorland Haunt, exile a creature from my graveyard, and make another spirit.
Can Veggie top deck 2 damage.
Probably not. All right. I will send 2 your way to put you to 2.
I will take it.
And then all I got is pay 9 to recast Millicent with the spirit discount and pass the turn.
I've looked through my graveyard and I'm absolutely dead, but I still have 1 bone to pick with that witch that reanimated me. I'm going to go to my upkeep before the part where I will draw a card. So if I go to my draw step, I will die. That is 110% true. On my upkeep, I will tap 2 mana and I will cast the adventure side of Brazen Bower. Now, what does it do? It bounces something to its owner's hand. So I'm going to target for you, ZBexx, this so that you can re-trigger your initiative. The even more important thing here is, though, Professor Onyx will trigger off of this adventure, draining each of my opponents for 2 life.
I will respond by looking at the top of my library with Bolas Citadel. And then I will look at my hand one more time. It does not save me.
All right, so we drain out, and let it be noted, I have lasted 3 seconds longer than NerdGirl, and I will go to my draw step finally and be deceased.
My own creation made a deal with my arch enemy Liliana to destroy me. Let's see if I reanimate them in the next Halloween party.
I think that means it's now your turn.
Oh.
Yeah, it just, yep.
Okay, Veggie. Well, it takes 2 to tango, as we've been talking about doing a magic dance. Now we finally get to.
Oh, Veggie.
Okay, so on my upkeep, I get to venture into the Undercity. We're gonna go this way to the Forge and put 2 +1/+1 counters on target creature. I'm gonna choose my commander so that it's larger than your 1 blocker, so I can gain some life. And that way, the next one is the trap, which is my favorite. Oh, this is pretty cool. Osgoliath, Fallen Capital, or as some of you may know it as Corehaven, which can add a colorless, or I can pay 2 and tap it to prevent all combat damage that would be dealt by target attacking creature this turn. So things are looking up for the fairies. All right, let's go ahead and leave this with some mana next to it. And I will cast again. Thank you, Dead Skeleton Joe. Feywild Caretaker. So I get to do the initiative again, and it's going to go to the trap. Target player loses 5 life.
Holy crap.
Yep.
Yep, you've triggered her trap card.
Okay, let's move to our combat step.
Yep.
I will just swing with my commander. It is a 4/5 with flying, death touch, and lifelink.
Yeah, I'm not blocking that.
Cool.
Oh, it has lifelink too?
Yes. I've
seemed
been
like a
waiting
good
the
deal.
entire game for that. Yes, and then I will pass the turn and make a second fairy token.
All right, I'm going to pay 4. I'm going to cast Donal, Herald of Wings. Whenever I cast a non-legendary creature spell with flying, I can copy it, except the copy is a 1/1 spirit, and I can only do it once per turn. I guess I can get some damage in or try and kill a fairy dragon. I'll go to combat and I'll swing Millicent at you.
I will sacrifice a fairy dragon into the... I do not want you to gain the initiative. I would like to maintain that.
All right, that's what I got. Pass to you.
Okay, I will untap during my upkeep. I will move into the next dungeon, the Archives. I will draw a card. I'm going to play a land for the turn. It's going to be tapped. Oh, I forgot I had the Corehaven. We're going to use that next time. But for now, we're just going to attack. How big is your other thing over there?
3/3 on the ground, 1/1s in the air.
Okay, I will attack you with both of these. It's for 7. That's lethal.
Block. So on the ground, in the air. And then I think I just need whatever I can get here. So I am also going to pay 1, 2, 3, 4 and
Convoke.
cast Clever Concealment to phase out my my creatures so they don't die.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, that's
Love it.
save some damage a little bit and you don't get to lifelink.
I will move to my end step and make a fairy dragon.
End of your turn, I'll activate Moorland Haunt, get 1 more spirit.
Do you pay the 2?
Oh my gosh, his eyeballs, they got so big.
Based on Veggie's reaction, he either drew...
I do not pay the 2.
You drew... Last time you drew nothing and did that, so I can't know if that's actually good.
This is a card that I know. I'm going to pay 3, and I'm going to cast Mirror Hall Mimic. It can enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature on the battlefield, except it's also a spirit. I'm going to have it come into play as a copy of Feywild Caretaker, so I will gain the initiative.
Ooh, boo. Sticking with the theme of stealing other people's permanents, well, not stealing, Veggie has copied my Feywild Caretaker, which is ruthless to me at this point in the game because the initiative is what was going to help me on this 1v1 battle. I don't know how I'm going to come back from this.
I'm going to head into the secret entrance.
That's cute.
Here's my island, which I will play. Okay, I think I just try and run this for as long as I can. I'll pass the turn. I get one of those little dragons.
Oh, because you copied it. Here, you can have one and I'll use a dice. I mean, there's no reason not to attack and try to take the initiative. I'll just attack with a Layla, I guess.
All right, I'll try and kill it. It's a 4/5, right?
Correct.
I'll block with Millicent and the Fairy Dragon.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm going to gain 4 life.
Millicent will leave behind a spirit.
Recast Alayla without any counters, but it's back out there. I don't have the initiative, so I don't make a token. That's annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, pass.
End of your turn, I'm going to activate Moorland Haunt.
You killed me with my card that stole ZBexx's card. So technically, ZBexx killed me. And now Veggie might win by stealing a copy of ZBexx's card. So realistically, ZBexx is the only one that can kill anyone.
This is Halloween. The steal of Halloween.
There was much tricks.
All right, I think I need an answer now. So at my upkeep, I'm going to move to the Lost Well and scry 2. All right, yeah, that's interesting. We'll leave that on the top and put one on the bottom. I'll draw, and I'm going to cast Haunting Imitation. Each player reveals the top card of their library. For each creature card revealed, I create a copy of it that is also a 1/1 spirit. If no creatures or cards are revealed this way, this returns to my hand.
Ah, no, it's an enchantment. Do you get it?
I don't get that. I get a Skyclave Apparition
And it's just
copy,
revealing the top.
I will exile something, and then if this dies, you get a creature token that is equal to the cost.
Okay.
I mean, I'll just get rid of Alila.
Yeah, that's kind of what I figured you were going to do.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spirits, so I will recast Millicent. Yeah, I'll swing with 5 1/1 spirits at you.
I'll prevent one of them from dealing damage this turn and take 4.
You take 4. I'll pass my end step, and I'll make a Fairy Dragon.
So I'm going to tap all of my mana and use my 2 treasures, except for 1. And I'm going to recast Alayla, and I still have 3 mana floating. Yay, Layla's back with so much commander tax. And then I will cast Feywild Visitor, which will make my commander make more 1/1 blue fairy dragon tokens whenever I deal combat damage to a player. And I will get a 1/1 blue fairy creature token with flying. Yay! Had no sense just sending in my creatures to die. I will pass the turn.
All right.
Do you pay the 1 or 2?
I will not. You can have that treasure.
Woo!
I'm going to move to the arena, and I'm going to goad Alila.
Okay.
And I'll draw my card. Yeah, I'm not really sure why I goaded Alila, because she's going to be gone anyway. I'm going to cast the Skyclave Apparition that was on top.
I'll send it back to my sad command zone again.
Top tier plays from Veggiewagonyee.
Yeah.
I think this might be the record for the number of times commanders died.
And it started with Joe.
Me? I'm dead. I'm just innocent.
I will go to combat. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in the air.
Blocking in this situation doesn't really help me too much.
Yeah, if you found like a bounce spell or something.
Yeah, so I guess I'll just take it.
Take 9.
I don't see any reason not to.
Okay, I'll pass the end of turn, and I'll make another Fairy Dragon.
I wish I still had the initiative.
Oh.
Just been drawing lands now. It's cool. All my good cards are in my discard. But I do have a Layla, which I can cast for 14 mana.
Oh, is that all?
Oh, that's all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
And the treasure.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Exactsies.
Alayla's back. Woo! You have blockers for everything, but I could at least trade off. You're going to hit me for 9 in the air next time anyway. I'm pretty much just dead. I'm going to pass.
End your turn. I'm gonna make one more spirit. I'm gonna move to the archives in my upkeep and draw a card, and then I will draw for turn.
Stop it. She's dead already.
Stop. She's already dead.
Okay, we're going to combat. Yeah. I don't know what I'm doing here. I'll swing out.
There you go.
9 1/1s with flying. A Feywild Caretaker, a 2/2 on the ground, a 4/4 flyer, and a 3/3 on the ground.
All right, so let's take care of that 2/2 on the ground. So I'll be gaining the 2 life from that, but then we'll be blocking just 1, 2, 3, 4 other things. Because then I'm still dead, right? Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So
Yes.
exact.
Exacties.
Ugh.
Good game, Tango partner.
This is honestly one of my favorite games of Magic I've played in a while. It was back and forth, so much good stuff. I was at 1 life at one point. I got up to 18, still ended up losing, but God, did I love that game.
As a Fae, I like to do some tricks and trades, but it turns out I was the one who was tricked as Veggie copied the initiative, which ultimately won him the game.
If I look a little pale, it's because I didn't think I was making it out of that one. But at the end of the game, we hit all gassed and finished it out. If there's one thing that ghosts are good at, it's staying alive.
I may not have been victorious on this All Hallows Eve, but there's always next year. I just need to make sure I can get a virgin to light the candle. I could probably get Veggie to do it. We hope you guys enjoyed our very spooky Halloween episode. Now we'd like to take a minute to thank the sponsors that made it possible.
Coolstuffinc is the best place to pick up anything from sealed product to singles. Make sure to use our code TOPDECK at checkout for 5% off your order.
And if you need a little inspiration to build your Halloween deck, head on over to EDHRec, where they have all the synergies to match your budget and style.
Ultimate Guard is the industry leader in MTG accessories. We love their stuff, and we know you will too, so make sure to use the link down in the description so that they know that we sent you.
And if you would like to support us more directly, head on over to our Patreon, where you can unlock exclusive perks and help us hit our goal to make Decked Out weekly.
And we'd especially like to thank our renowned patrons, Magic Cave and Tyler M.
And our legendary patrons, Harley G, D Schultz, Kai Soren, and Sligo Yanks.
And of course, if you liked the video, you should click like. And if you really liked it, hit subscribe. That's all for today. We will see you next time on Decked Out.